This is the part of growth nobody warns you about. The part where you're doing everything right and absolutely nothing is happening.
Like on paper, you're crushing it. You're journaling, you're reflecting, you're regulating, you're choosing better, you're pausing before reacting, you're drinking water like a responsible houseplant. And yet, your life is still giving loading. Because here's the weirdest part. You can feel yourself changing internally, but externally, nothing looks different enough to prove it. And that is such a specific kind of psychological torment.
So, have you ever been in that space where you're genuinely trying, not performing self-improvement for the internet, actually doing the work? You're learning, you're healing, you're getting more intentional. You're trying to be someone you respect. And still, nothing on the outside seems to be moving. Because I'm going to be very real with you. I'm still in that phase more often than I'd like to admit. Not in a dramatic way, not in a my life is falling apart way, more like a quiet, confusing way. Uh, I'm doing the work and my life is still running on the old operating system way. Uh, why is my growth not coming with a tracking number way? And if that's you right now, welcome. This is the club nobody brags about. I catch myself thinking, even now, I know more. I react differently. I see patterns I didn't see before. So why does it still feel like I'm waiting? Like, why do I feel calmer, but my circumstances look the same? Why do I feel wiser, but nothing has paid off yet? Why does it feel like I leveled up internally, but externally, I'm still in the same stage of the game fighting the same boss? A friend described it perfectly once. She said, I feel like I upgraded my mindset, but my life is still running the old software. And I remember laughing because, same. Also, rude of reality to not auto update. Here's why this phase is so unsettling. Because it feels incomplete, like the story hasn't caught up yet. Internally, you are changing. Your awareness is sharper, your boundaries are clearer, your standards are higher, your self respect is louder. But you don't have visible proof yet. And when you don't have visible proof, your brain starts doing what brains do. It looks for certainty. It wants to know, is this working? Am I wasting my time? Am I delusional? Did I miss a step? Is there a faster route, a shortcut, a secret code? And listen, if you're in a transition phase, your nervous system often wants stability. Not because you're weak, because uncertainty is genuinely hard on humans. So when your outside life isn't giving you clear feedback, your brain fills the silence with doubt. And doubt is not quiet. Doubt does not whisper politely. Doubt shows up with a megaphone, a PowerPoint, and a list of every time you ever embarrassed yourself in 2009. This is also why the phase is confusing, because you can't always measure internal growth the way you measure external results. External results are easy to prove. A job offer, a number on a scale, a relationship status, a bank account, a follower count. Internal growth is sneaky. It looks like you don't text back immediately when you feel anxious. You pause before people pleasing. You say, let me think about it instead of auto yes. You feel triggered and you recover faster. You have the same fear, but you don't let it drive. That's growth. It's just not always loud. And because it's not loud, it's easy to dismiss. So, if you're in this phase and it feels weird, yeah, it is weird. You're becoming a new version of yourself, and the outside world is still treating you like the old one. That gap is disorienting. I see this with people I care about all the time. People who are genuinely doing the work,
but are exhausted by the lack of feedback. A friend said to me recently, I feel stupid for still trying when I can't point to results. And yeah, I've felt that too, because our brains love immediate reward. There's a simple term for what this demands from you: delayed gratification, doing the right thing now without getting the payoff now. And when life is quiet, your brain goes, cool, so are we building something or are we just journaling for sport? Then comparison shows up. Not even always jealousy, more like fear. Fear that everyone else is moving and you're the only one stuck doing invisible work. And this is where people start to abandon themselves quietly, not with a dramatic announcement, more like dropping the boundary just this once, going back to the thing that numbs, giving up on the habit because it didn't pay them back fast enough. But this is also the exact moment something real is forming. James Clear talks about identity-based change. Real transformation starts with who you're becoming, not what you can prove this week. And this phase, this is where you become the kind of person who keeps going without applause, who can feel uncertain without panicking, who doesn't need constant reassurance to stay committed. And I'm not going to pretend that feels amazing in the moment. It can feel quiet, it can feel lonely, it can feel like nothing is happening. But stay with me, because what this phase is building in you is bigger than motivation. And next, I'm going to name what it's quietly giving you, even before your life looks different. Here's what I am starting to notice in myself and in others. This phase isn't about fixing your life. It's about expanding your capacity. It's about becoming a person who can hold more uncertainty, more responsibility, more intimacy, more consistency, more self-respect. Because if your life changed overnight without you expanding first, it wouldn't feel like a blessing. It would feel like chaos. So this phase does something sneaky. It builds the internal structure first. It teaches patience in a way success never could. It builds self-trust without external validation. And that is a big deal. Because when you rely on external validation to keep going, you become fragile. You become dependent on feedback. But when you build self-trust, you become steady. You start to believe, I can keep promises to myself. I can handle discomfort. I can be disappointed and still show up. I can feel uncertain and not abandon myself. Also, this phase calms your nervous system slowly, not through a shortcut, not through forcing positivity, not through pretending you're fine when you're not, but through repetition, through learning over and over. I can survive this feeling. I don't have to react immediately. I can choose my next move. And yes, sometimes you're still going to think, shouldn't I be further along by now? But when that thought shows up, try this. Not as advice, just as a gentle question. What are you using as proof that you're behind? Is it money? Is it relationship status? Is it productivity? Is it other people's timelines? Because sometimes behind just means my progress isn't visible. And visible progress is not the only kind that counts. A lot of the most important progress is invisible. It's you not going back to the thing that broke you even when you miss it. It's you feeling lonely and not making it someone else's job to fix. It's you letting a season be quiet without turning it into a crisis. That's not nothing. That's huge. And no, people don't always clap for that. Nobody throws you a party for congratulations on not texting your ex. Proud of you for resting. Wow, incredible job tolerating uncertainty today. But that doesn't make it meaningless. It matters. This isn't a race, and it's not a performance. It's a relationship with yourself. And this phase changes how you relate to yourself, how you handle uncertainty, how you recover from setbacks, how you choose what aligns, how you stay present without needing proof every 5 minutes. So if you're here, if you're still waiting, still wondering, still showing up, you're not behind.
You're just in a phase that doesn't give instant feedback. One day, this part will make sense. And when it does, you won't just be glad you got results. You'll be glad you became someone who could hold them, even if right now it just feels unfinished. If you feel like sharing, only if you feel like sharing, tell me in the comments. Are you in this phase too? Still doing the work, still waiting for things to catch up? And if this video made you feel a little less alone, a little less rushed, and a little more patient with where you are, then let that be enough for today. You don't need to solve anything right now. You don't need to figure out what's next. We're growing, even when it's quiet, even when it's confusing, even when the outside hasn't caught up to the inside yet. I'll be here.